What I want to go through today is the actual logistics of using a velocity tracker in your training. So I've done a training session. I'm going to go through the video, and in it I've had my phone and I've flipped between 3 different apps. So I've got the RepOne personal app, which is the app which records the data from the device. So it's being sent by Bluetooth to your phone. I've got my own training program open and it's a Google Sheet. And I've also got the timer I'm using to time rest. So typically, if we wanted to monitor everything on a training program, these would be the 3 things that someone would need access to, assuming you're doing it all on a phone and you're not writing anything down. And obviously this is done on my phone, which is an iPhone. So I'm not sure exactly how this would translate to Android, but it's going to show you how I flip between and how I actually do it. One of the main things in the way of people moving to velocity tracking is the idea that they just don't fully understand it and the practical implications of using it and the faff. Now faff, I think that might be a British term. So the faff is how logistically difficult something is. And the more faffy something is, the more of a pain it is to get set up. So for example, if you're thinking about exercises in the gym, a low faff exercise would be a bench press. So the equipment is just pretty much set up. As long as it's available and you can get on it, you can do it. You don't really need to change too many things. Maybe the height of the takeoffs, and that's about it. So it's quite low faff. A very high faff exercise might be if you wanted to do flies with an incline bench in a cable crossover. So you've got to get the right handles on the cable crossover. You've got to make sure it's free. You're going to be using up 2 sides of it. You've got to get a bench in it. So those are high faff exercises. So that's what I mean by faff. And I'm going to try and demonstrate in this video, using a velocity tracker can be very low faff. So it can be really easy to do, especially if you've seen the process that we go through or that I go through to do it. So what you're going to see on the screen is you're going to see on the left-hand side, that is what is on my phone. So that's what's visible to me. And in the bottom, you're going to see me doing 2 work sets, 2 sets of 8 on bench. So if I'm going to play the video, now you can see at the start here, I've got I'll just pause it there quickly. I'm using a rolling rest timer here, which I've got set up in advance, and it's on Seconds Pro or Seconds Out, I think is the name of the app. But obviously there's dozens of apps that do this. This is going to beep every 3 minutes. So if you look on the screen there, it says intro to first set. So that's my 20-second time to get in ready before it beeps once. And then start set 2 is 3 minutes. So it's going to beep every 3 minutes. It's going to play there. So I'm setting this up. And now I've put the screen on so you can see the RepOne app. So I'm now waiting for these 3 beeps to count me down. So it'll go beep, 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 and then a longer beep to say you're good to go. So it's counting me down here, and the aim is to unrack it on that longer beep. Now, if you watch, it's going to, as I do each rep, you're going to see it drop down. 4, there we go. There's the 5th one. It's a set of 8. So there we go. I'm just going to pause it there. So you can see on the screen, you've got 1 at the bottom and 8 at the top. So that was the order of the reps I did. That first column, that is the average velocity of that rep. So you can see there, 0.366 or 0.37 if we round it, 0.37, 0.38, 0.37, 0.35, 0.35, 0.32, 0.28. So I've fatigued going through that set. But those first few reps, there's barely any fatigue. If we look across to the penultimate column, you can see the range of motion. So you can see there is some variance in the range of motion of each rep as well. Now I'm just going to push play. Also notice that it's 0.28 is in that red circle at the top. So that's always the final rep of a set, that red circle. So, and that is what's going to be most important. So I'm just going to play it here. So I've done my set. I'm sitting up, so I'm going to look at the screen. So I know now I've got 0.28. And also, another thing, I'll just quickly pause it there. you'll always know how many reps you've done. Occasionally people lose count, but at least with one of these, you can see exactly how many reps you've done as well. So it is obviously counting as we go. So there. So now I've brought up my, that's my program. So that's my Google Sheet. This is the same program that I send to all my clients. This is the way it's laid out. So it's laid out vertically, so it's easier to fill out on a phone. Just play. And there we've got set 1, 8 reps. The weight was 112.5. And I'm typing in the speed 0.28. Just push play again. That's it. So now I've entered that. I've entered those details. So I can flip it back to the rest screen. And obviously, just pause there. Because it's already been counting down. So as soon as it beeped for me to start my set, it was counting down those 3 minutes. So push play. Now there'll be a little cut because obviously we don't want to hang around for 2 minutes waiting. So 20 seconds. Now I know roughly that about 15 to 20 seconds is what I need to get set up. So once it says 20, I'll start sitting down. You can see the set we did before, that 0 kilos times 8 is sitting there. You can always open that up with the drop down. And you can see that, just pause it there a second, that 2:44, that's how long it was until the end of the set before. Just going to play, I'm just going to play out these 8 reps. You can see as each rep goes in there, the speed is being put up. Seven, that's 0.25, so it's slower. So 0.23, again, you can see the fatigue through that set. As you go down, they're getting slower. So now I've got the number 0.23, and that was of the final rep of that set. So just push play again. So I'll go to my phone. I know I've got 0.23. I can go back into my program. 8 reps, 0.23. And you can see I'm just going to pause it there. So that's the layout of the program. You can see it says bench press at the top. T and G, so that's just a little shorthand to say it's touch and go. So all those reps were touch and go, no pause ones. Rolling rest in minutes 3. There are 3 sets of 8 on 112.5 kilograms. And obviously I would have done another third set after this, but I think 2 sets is enough to demonstrate it. And you can see 0.28 was the speed, the final speed of the first set, and 0.23 was the final speed of the second set. And that's it. And then you could go back and obviously you'd be waiting to do your final set. So I stop there. So that's how simple it is. I'd suggest that you close all your other apps so you've just got those 3 open, and all you're doing is flipping between those 3, taking the data off the RepOne personal app, putting it into your own program. It takes literally like 5 to 10 seconds at the end of each set, and once you get into the habit of it, it's really easy. The RepOne personal app still stores all those sets. You don't need to put the exact details into each one because obviously you're transferring it over. But if you want to go back, you can always look at the previous sets you've done. That's how simple it can be to integrate this method of tracking your last rep velocity into your training program. I hope you found this useful. Thank you.